Hello. On screen you should see 7 different movie posters. These are the films I saw this month, and they're going to slowly start to fade off the screen now in order from worst to best, leaving the best film that came out in January. UK release dates, sorry. Fortunately, I didn't see Mufasa or Flight Risk this month, so I'm lucky in that regard. Mismatched cousins David and Benji reunite for a tour through Poland to honor their beloved grandmother. The adventure takes a turn when the pair's old tensions resurface against the backdrop of their family history. As you know, or maybe don't know, actually I'll show you soon, this film stars Jesse Eisenberg and Kieran Culkin, with the latter being nominated and most likely winning the Oscar for Best Supporting Actor. I feel like this film's a delight, which is crazy to say because it's two cousins going on this Holocaust tour against the backdrop of their family trauma and past and history, and it kind of sounds like it could be tonally the film actually I feel like really knows what it's doing. Like it knows, hey, we're going to be funny now. Now we're going to be a little bit more serious. I can really expect a film that knows its tone. And I think Jesse Eisenberg really hits it out of the park here. And I know that might be hard for some of you people. Not a lot of people Jesse Eisenberg stands. They find him a little bit pretentious. And he has certain things in these, certain screenwriter things in this movie that might turn people off. Certain little things like the colour motifs of the characters, or like there's this running thing throughout the film where sort of Kieran Culkin's character keeps commenting, or comments once, and it stays on Jesse Eisenberg's mind about his feet. How Jesse Eisenberg has pretty feet. And I can just find some of these things probably for some people maybe a little bit try hard. I think both of the performances are like as good as each other, but like I'm not surprised that Kieran Culkin's getting all the push because he is the most thought-provoking character. He's the most interesting out of the two. He is the one you are fixated on. He's the one that you're recoiling at. He is the black hole, for better or worse, throughout this film. He's the one that Benji so desperately wants to be, but at the same time you watch Benji watch the behavior of him, and he wants to like change him so much at the same time. There's like that weird sort of flip of it, you know, the two sides of that coin. Whether you see yourself as like an extroverted person, a little bit more reserved, a little bit more whatever, I feel like most people that I've heard who spoke about this film talk about how they know a Benji, less so than relating to Benji and knowing a David. Maybe Benji's just couldn't sit through this film. Maybe that's the answer. I was no different. I hate to say it, but I also did too relate to Jesse Eisenberg's character. I know it's not fun. I think the film looks really nice. It's this warm pastel-y colour. All the shots are pretty. Maybe this just speaks to Poland in the springtime. I don't know. It is a screenwritery movie. It has a great movie moment for me. You know, in front of the statues, I think it's great. Benji posing with all of the other tour group members and David taking the photos on the phone. You know, it tells you a lot about the characters. It feels so natural. It's a real high point of the film for me. You know, watching the film would be crazy to me if like Jesse Eisenberg isn't pulling from some kind of experience, because like the film just felt authentic, which, you know, look, I'm learning as much as anyone else about what's going on here. It kind of felt like a little educational trip for the whole audience. So maybe I'm not the best person to say what's authentic and what's not authentic about the film. Just in the characters, it felt like he knew them so well. And I think the ending proves. I think the ending of this film proves that he knew these characters inside out and he knew exactly how to end it. Not for the feel-good factor, but for what felt true. And I really appreciate it. I feel biased, almost like I'm kind of lying about how much I like this film. I felt like it won me over kind of from the trailer already. So for some reason, I feel like, you know, I'm being dishonest. But I don't know. I knew I was going to like it before I watched it. I watched it and I did in fact like it. Yeah, I would recommend. And that's something I want to mention at the end of all of these, because just because we're talking about the best film that came out in that said month doesn't mean it's going to be a good film. I'm pretty sure there's going to be multiple times going forward where we talk about the films I saw in a said month and they were Flight Risk level. And I'm going to have to, you know, talk about it because it was the best thing I saw. Best of a bad bunch. I'm sure that will happen. So yes, I would recommend this one basically. As for my Letterboxd score and review, because I can hear you all screaming for it, it's getting a 4.5 out of 5 star. And my review was, what's my review? They took the weed to Poland. That's for my little boat fans out there. Yeah, they did take the weed to Poland though. I just can't wait for February.